Hi everyone, this is Sheila, BlueWater Oracle, and today feels an important day to give some support and some guidance with my Oracle cards. Please excuse the background. I am setting up a new office space at home and I am still in deciding where things are going and what's going to be a part of it. So that's why pictures are sitting on the couch and not up on the wall yet. But I'm allowing their energy to figure out where everything wants to go and how it's going to feel. So today is Monday, May 8th, 2017, and I live in Eastern Canada in Quebec. And in our region, spring has come with an enormous amount of water. So throughout various parts of Canada and Eastern Canada, there is more water than people have seen in more than 50 years. And so there are areas that are being completely flooded, homes, roads, bridges, and it's really causing a lot of havoc for individuals and for communities. But it's also bringing people together in ways that we haven't seen since we had an ice storm here. So, as in all things, there are balance points, good and bad sides, and challenges. And Mother Nature has plans and requirements that she is now reminding us of. So, if you would, with me, I would like to start today's session by taking just a few moments to really breathe in and to send out energy, positive thoughts and feelings and vibrations to the natural world, to the waterways, the forests, the animals, and also the underground that's going to be taking down in some of this water so that the water table improves. And also, of course, we want to send out to all the people who are affected, sending them so they can feel vibrations of support and love. Now, some people listening to this may say, well, what's that going to do? It's not going to do anything. However, if you were to think that if the world were to coincide in one moment or in multiple moments where everyone in the world stopped and only thought of good things and positive things and ways to help each other, what kind of an impact would that have on our world, on ourselves personally, our individual selves, our energy, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, where our brains go, but also how other people perceive us and how we perceive them, and then how it impacts the whole world from there. So it can be really powerful. So if you would, just breathe into your heart center. You may want to put your hands on your heart. You may be somebody that feels more in your gut area, so put your hands on your abdomen, or you can split it and do one of each. Take a deep breath, breathe into these spaces, and feel yourself filling with gratitude for what you have and enjoy in your life. And feel yourself filling with compassion to those that are going through struggles and challenges and life journeys and adventures they never predicted. Send them compassion and send them understanding and support, knowing that they are loved even if it's from a distance, and that we wish them well on all levels. Still breathing from these places within you, I would now send your thoughts and your vibes and your vibrations and your energy out to the natural world. What is around you in nature? The water, the forests, the clouds, the birds, the animals. And how does it come in and affect your day every day? How do you use the water? How do you use plants for food? How do you use animals for joy, for food, for transport, just for pleasure being on your property? And send those vibes, and I want you to picture them being sent deep, deep, deep into the world, into this beautiful blue and green planet we live on, and white in some areas. And really think of it, sending that we respect We understand. We're learning. Even though we're slow at learning in many cases, we're learning. We send thoughts, we send vibes, gratitude, and also compassion for the natural world, where humans don't always understand the long term and don't always understand the implications. But we are willing to learn, we are hoping to learn, and we thank Mother Earth for her patience. Breathing deep into your body. Let that energy settle and feel love, compassion, gratitude, support. Try to carry some of that with you today. Thank you for joining me for that. It means a lot. And as you carry that with you in your day, hopefully it will be easier as you're maybe stuck in traffic, as you meet people who are under a lot of stress and worry, or as you think about how many resources am I using and what are great ideas for changing or improving how this is all going to get used. Let's see what the cards have to say. So I asked the 4 decks that I use most often which ones wanted to come out today, and it didn't really surprise me, so I double and triple checked, but the Earth Magic deck wanted to come out, and also the Native Spirit Oracle cards. So as always, I don't know what direction they're going to go, but let's have a look, and I appreciate you spending time with me here today. So we're going to go Earth Magic first. I think we're going to pull 2 cards and see what they come up with. All right, so breathing again, thinking about what is the best intention, what is the best news and information, the most supportive information we can receive for our individual lives and also for all those who are being implicated in challenging times. So breathing. There's the card. Sometimes the cards come out from the top, side, they jump out, wherever they want. So we have our first card here, the Earth Magic, and the second card from the Native Spirit Oracle cards we're also going to pull. Ooh. Oh, okay, I'm going to put that one down. Feels like that was an extra to come out. Strong energies from these guys today. This is a deck that fascinates me, as they all do, but it particularly does. It has its own plan for most readings. So let's see. So we have 1 jumper card, so we'll look at that one last. I've put it on top of the 3. And so, for the Earth Magic cards, we have the Eagle, the Communion card. So there's a bald eagle here, white light in the background, could be sunlight, could be moonlight, could be energy light or from the divine. And then we have what looks like a native medicine man, could be a shaman, sitting on the edge of a cliff or the edge of a hill. So as I look at this card, I really feel, as I've felt through part of most of this flooding time around us, that this is a reminder to get back into connection. So get back into connection with yourself, those deeper parts of you that are really knowing, they really understand things, and they really want to guide you. There's so much there. Allow it to speak through you and allow it to bring you important information, okay? It's there. And it can also just be to give you feelings and to give you that sense of understanding within your own self, with your body, but also your personality, your mind, your feelings, and your spirit. So get into connection. But sometimes this needs time and it needs practice. So if you're feeling really disconnected, it would be to find ways that reconnect you. So journaling can be great, meditation, of course, hanging out with a tribe of people who are supportive and like-minded. It can also just be taking moments of deep breath, like we started this, so that you're breathing into your body and really allowing that communication to go through all of your energy systems. With this card, there also feels as though it is an ask to respect each other, respect the environment, the natural world. I felt, and I posted a written reading a little while ago last week during the start of this floods and the high waters, that the water energy is saying, look, I need you to pay attention. And this is some of the only ways that you will. But we don't want the message to be lost just in the chaos. There's information here to learn about how we use resources, how we balance with the natural world, as well as within ourselves. We have a lot of water within our physical bodies. So that connection, that tie-in with water is super important. And there's a need to be paying attention to that. So as we go through this next phase of spring into summer where we live, we want to really notice the resources. What is nature needing? And then how does that impact what we need as individuals and as a society? The two are not very different, although many people seem to think they are. So connection, communion with all those energies, but also respect. Let me show you that card again. I know it's backwards on the webcam, so my apologies. I'll try to put a picture up with this post as well. All right. Bald eagle, strong energy. Native Spirit Oracle cards. The Spirit of Fire. Ooh, hope you can see it. Okay. The Spirit of Fire. So we've been talking a lot about water, and now we have the Spirit of Fire. So without balance, there is a huge challenge. What it's also making me think of is, if you look at the image, how the logs and sticks are placed to make the fire very efficient, but it's also reminding me of what we would see as a classic teepee, where you have the different angled, so they come up at the top, and then the leather or material would be placed around the outside, the skins, so that it creates a home. So while we're dealing with fire, and we've been talking about floods, there is also in this picture, in my mind, making me think of the representation of home as well. And if you look, there's also some tree plant coming out of the water. Okay? And that's very much what we're seeing here, the tops of trees, or the upper parts of trees being surrounded by water when there wouldn't normally be. Again, the huge message for this feels as though it is balance. Balance in all things. So when you think about the four elements, the water, the fire, the earth, and the air, when they are out of balance, or in a mystery balance that only nature understands, we as an animal species walking the world often feel as though we suffer because we don't adapt so easily to that balance. Now, if you go within your personal self and you ask yourself in your life what is in balance and what is out of balance. And here it feels as though for many of us, there's a physical component. What is in balance and out of balance in our physical body. So are we getting enough sleep? Are we eating in a way that supports our physical health and well-being? Are we being active so that our physical body can support us in everything we want to do? How is our mental health? Is our mind running rampant all the time? Is it in balance, or does it need that training for quiet? So there's our physical self, and then there's also everything around us. So what is the balance in your life? How is it working, and where does it need to improve? It doesn't mean that you're going to improve it all today. As nature is showing us, sometimes there is a time frame. This water will recede when this water recedes. We can ask of nature to help us. We can pray on it. We can send out good intentions. But ultimately, the water will recede when it does. So in your balance, there are steps that you can take that are necessary and that will be helpful to you. Some are optional and will also be helpful, and some will just happen when they happen. But by being aware that there's an imbalance and that you want to work on it, you're actually going to invite in some of this progression and it will help you. Okay? So the balance, and a balance in multiple levels of your life. So as in the different elements, we want to have that balance in there. This is a card, the Spirit of Fire, that I feel as though it could go on and on. It feels as though it just wants to talk. It wants to talk about this balance. It wants people to really be able to enhance their lives by being balanced. It wants them to have the warmth internally represented by the fire, that heart energy, that love, that compassion that warms us from the depths of our personal beings. And then it also wants a balance in the natural world. So a huge balancer card. As I said, it feels like it just go on and the video would be 2 days long. It really feels that important. It wants to talk over and over. And then that jumping card. So we have the eagle, the communion. We have the Spirit of Fire, balancing. And then we have the jumper card. I don't know if you saw it when I was shuffling, is the Warrior of the Heart, the polar bear. So my logical mind says, wow, polar bears, water, how is everything changing with the global climate, how the environment is changing. So when I have that question in my intellectual mind, what I do is I ask the card and I ask spirit energies, whether you want to call it the universe or spirit guides, however it works for you. Am I on the right track? Am I reading this card the way it's intended in this reading? And honestly, yeah, it feels as though this is a huge reminder as we are talking about water. That water is a precious, precious commodity. As I said before, it's a huge part of our own physical bodies as humans. It is a necessary as fluid. It is also going to impact immensely resources as well as heights of water from oceans, from seas, as glaciers and Arctic ice are changing and melting. As the card says, the Warrior of the Heart, I really do feel as though it's also really suggesting, really reminding of that compassion and that gratitude. It is so easy to get into our own lives, personal lives, to be the mama bear, to protect our own family. And that makes sense. The polar bear would do the same, protecting their family, their territory, their food. As humans, we do have that capacity, though, to bring in compassion and gratitude. And here it is, a request to basically take up a shield, if you like, take up arms, but arms from the heart, arms from that space of compassion and heart-centered warriorness. How do we do that individually? We fire up that compassion, we fire up that gratitude so that we look around us and don't take things for granted and be aware of all the things we have. When we go out into the world, it's to look at others with compassion and think maybe they're behaving that way because life journey has become so profoundly intense for them and they're not sure how to handle it. Maybe they have no support. Maybe they don't know what to do. Maybe they were not taught any different. And so by showing compassion and by energetically sending them compassion and support, even if we can't do it physically in person, we believe that we will be impacting that life and lives around us. a powerful reading for today. So, takeaway message is balancing in your life, respecting yourself and others and Mother Nature, respecting our resources, trying to keep, again, that balance, not going away. The balance is so important. Respecting, oh, my telephone, sorry. So it's respecting, oops, telling me that the call should be done. That's what it's saying. The call should be done. So it is saying that, to finalize, that we want to bring up compassion, but we want to pay attention to the natural world so that we use our resources properly and we extend gratitude and compassion from our hearts. And by doing that, we will become warriors in a good and positive way, allowing ideas to flourish, allowing support to flourish, so that as a human race, balancing with the natural world, we will become more efficient and more full of joy, happier. So my apologies for the telephone call. That's what happens with live stuff when you haven't turned off the telephone. Thank you again for spending this time with me. I know it was 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes. It was a long reading. It's been a while, so I am honored that you spend this time, that you wanted to join me. Remember, take that compassion to heart, that balancing, that respect. Allow it to be with you all day. And if you find that it's shifting and it's moving away and you're not sure, just breathe. Just breathe. If you like the vision of the eagle, that could be something that will come in to strengthen you. If the fire, think of the fire from your heart, that will strengthen you in good and positive ways. So again, this is Sheila Bicknell with BlueWater Oracle. BlueWaterOracle.com, on YouTube, and also on Facebook. Please join me and visit. I'm available for individual readings in person and via Skype, telephone, email, lots of options. It'll be my pleasure to give you guidance and support. The cards we used today were, the eagle was from the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen Farmer, available through Hay House and earthmagic.net. And the Spirit of Fire and the Warrior of the Heart cards were from the Native Spirit Oracle cards by Denise Lynn, also available through Hay House. And you may or may not have heard the background noise that was playing for me, and it's by Adrian von Ziegler, available on YouTube. And this particular one is relaxing music called Atmospheres. So, blessings to you. And again, my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone suffering from flooding in Canada, Eastern Canada, Quebec, Ontario, and also out west. Blessings. Have a wonderful day.